Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. If you're anything like me, then your love language is definitely food, and since today is Valentine's Day, I thought I'd show everyone a meal that I would make my boo thing if I had one, which I don't, but if I did, I would definitely make him this meal. I know most people typically think of a sexy dinner for Valentine's Day, but if you're going to put in the effort, why not start the day off right with some breakfast in bed? To start off, we're gonna work on our potatoes. I have these two big ass potatoes, and together they're about 2 pounds, so 1 pound each. And we're basically going to slice them and dice them into probably 1-inch long cubes. And these are going to get boiled in a baking soda solution with some salt. And the baking soda is essentially going to make these potatoes crisp up a lot better when we bake them. I also have some of this minced garlic and rosemary, and we're gonna use this to make a nice little herb oil to go on top of our potatoes. So let's get started. Okay, so the potatoes are pretty much done. I have to transfer this onto a baking tray with some parchment paper. But the reason why we want this type of rough texture is because it's actually going to help the potatoes crisp up even more once we bake them. While the potatoes are reaching the halfway point, we're gonna just do a little bit of preparation for the rest of the food. So first I have this thick cut bacon, and I'm just gonna line a few pieces of this onto a small tray that I'm gonna put into my toaster oven. You can also just cook this over the stove, but it usually makes a mess and I don't have enough pans. So I'm just gonna put it in my toaster oven and bake it off for maybe like 15-20 minutes. Let's talk dessert. So this is crepe batter that I made yesterday, and it's a combination of flour, sugar, salt, eggs, and milk. And you can make it the day of, but I made it the night before just so I didn't have to do as much today. You can see that the butter and the rest of the liquid actually separated overnight, but this is fine. All you're gonna have to do is mix it before you use the batter. For the crepes, you can use oil or butter to cook them in. I personally prefer butter just because it gives it a little bit of a richer flavor. So I have a little bit of melted butter in this bowl, and I have this brush that I'm just gonna use to brush the pan. But it's really up to you. If you wanted to use the spray oil, you can also do that too. The timing of everything is really not that important, I don't think. Obviously, if you're not filming it like I am, this entire meal will go so much faster. But I think that if you are trying to kind of manage your time with this, you could make the crepes while the potatoes finish off baking, and then once the potatoes and the bacon are finished, you can scramble the eggs, and that way the eggs are super fresh and warm, and everything is still gonna be hot because they've been baking for a really long time. So that's how I would go about it. But again, I don't really think it's that important, because if somebody was making me all that food, I wouldn't really care that much about if it was like super hot or not. Look how crispy these potatoes are. I can't help myself, so I'm gonna take a bite right now. I just wanted to show you how crunchy they are right now, because by the time I eat these potatoes, they're probably not gonna be as crunchy, and I don't want anyone out there calling me a fraud. These potatoes are really good. You just have to eat them pretty much straight out the oven. Our bacon is also now done, and I'm gonna transfer these either to a plate or a cooling rack just so the fat can kind of drip off. But I'm also going to keep my oven at a warm temperature and just place the potatoes and the bacon in there while we finish everything else. Okay, y'all, so this is the finished meal. Okay, let's have a little nibble. So these potatoes are kind of dried out because I had them in the oven, but when you eat them fresh, they're very crispy on the outside and very soft and pillowy on the inside. And that herb oil gives it a really nice aroma and flavor. If you had Parmesan cheese, this would probably make this 10 times better. But if you don't, they're perfectly fine as is. These fries alone would make me tie up my hair. Okay, bacon. Crispy. The salad is very bright and it cuts through a lot of the richness of everything else, especially the bacon. But I feel like it would have also been really good if I added a little bit of that honey lemon that I used on the crepes. The eggs are very custardy. If you put a little bit of flaky sea salt on there, it gives a flavor and a little bit of texture. So I really like doing that. The one thing though that I'm very excited to try are these crepes. Every single time I eat crepes, usually there's some type of cream filling inside or jam or Nutella, but I've never seen it done with sugar before. So I really wanted to give that a try because I'm sure it's going to give it a really nice texture. I'm just gonna use my hands. Okay, so I think I waited too long. So the sugar basically dissolved, but the flavor of the citrus with the zest makes it taste so good. Especially with that little bit of honey. And finally, we have our little bevy here. Let's give it a stir. Okay, so all the ice melted. So this one's a little bit of a fail, but I will say that the rose syrup gives it a very nice like little floral taste. When I made the syrup, I actually don't think I made it strong enough. I should have put more rosebuds. So the flavor is there, but it's very subtle. It tastes pretty good though. I think if I added a little bit more of the rose petals and then just put a little bit more of the syrup and also drank it before the ice melted, it would have tasted really good. I literally started filming at maybe 11:30 or 12 o'clock and now it is 4:20. So it's a little bit late. Luckily, I was able to finish this video for you guys. But yeah, this is something that I would make not only a boo thing, but I would make it for my friends, my family, and not just for Valentine's Day, for pretty much any occasion. If you make this meal and it's Valentine's Day, make sure to present it very nicely. I had this little jar with roses and I'm telling you, that little extra touch will make any man or woman go wild. Before I hop off, I just wanted to say happy Valentine's Day, whether you're in a relationship, you're single, or you're in a toxic little situationship that won't end. If you're single though, I really just wanted to give you a pep talk because I myself am chronically single. I just wanted to say, even though it's a little cliche, focus on yourself, love yourself, build up your own confidence, make sure you are whole before you are with anyone else. And for everyone watching, just a reminder that there's nothing worse than being with someone who makes you feel more alone than you actually are. So that's my little words of advice before I close this video. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. I hope you have a lovely day and make this for your loved ones.